Touchdown, Raiders!
Hey Raider Nation, it's Joseph for Zenny62 and Oakland News Now, covering your Raiders, entertainment, politics. But this time we're going to stick with the Raiders, and let's take a look at the 21 draft class for the Raiders. Now, as we all know, the first pick, as you see in front of you, is number 17th pick overall, Alex Leatherwood. He was a controversial pick, even for myself. I thought we could have traded down to get him later in the first or early second. I would have preferred that we use the 17th pick for a defensive player. But regardless of what we think, I think the Raiders successfully filled a position of need. Now, going over some of their interviews, they did extensive research with Nick Saban with regards to Alex Leatherwood. They had several meetings with him, and our offensive line coach, Tom Cable, was ecstatic to draft him. Now, you got to remember, Tom Cable has done a great job filling in that position temporarily, so I think this will be a great fit for the Raiders. Now, as we all know, the second round pick was probably the Raiders' redemption pick. This is somebody I would have liked to seen drafted earlier, and that's TCU's Trevon Merrick, free safety out of Texas Christian University. Now, this was a surprise pick by many, but not for the Raider fans who wanted him to be picked during the first round, maybe 17th pick overall. I personally wanted Micah Parsons. But what we did do successfully here is that we moved up to pick 43, by the help of trading with the 49ers. And it's speculated that the Cowboys were going to draft him if we didn't move and pull the trigger to try to move up to grab him. I'm glad that we did. I think this was the number one free safety in the draft, and luckily for us, we pulled the trigger, we got him. Now, one of the great things about Trayvon Merrick is he has certain immeasurables that cannot be taught. He has speed, instinct, and he knows how to anticipate the ball. Now, this is going to come in handy for a defense that was atrocious last year. Look for Trayvon to start for the silver and black. Now, our third round picks, I'll be honest, was interesting to me. I didn't have either one of these players on my radar, but pick 79 was Malcolm Koontz out of Buffalo, and pick number 80, Diabolo from Virginia Tech. So let's talk a little bit about our 79th pick, Malcolm Koontz out of Buffalo. So he's a defensive player that's always going to have comparisons to a former linebacker of the Raiders, and that's Khalil Mack. Now, we know Malcolm is not Khalil Mack, but one of the upsides that I tend to see if you look at some of his tape is that he has some speed. He's able to bend. He's pretty flexible on the line. Now, one of the things that moving forward is that we're going to have depth players, and I think he's going to be used creatively, maybe in the third down, maybe possibly blitzing. But one of the things that obviously has hindered the Raiders is having options. And again, reiterating the fact that he's going to be a depth player, I expect that he'll be coached up pretty well by Gus Bradley. So let's move on to Diabolo. He was picked number 80 in the third round. Now, what's interesting about Divine is that he is a large safety. He's 6'3", close to 230. And what he's going to do, I mean, he's essentially could be a strong safety. I expect he'll be utilized different ways. I think one of the things that the Raiders successfully have done with the draft is have players that can be flexible in terms of their positioning and have options of different. He can play a variety of schemes, so I think that's one of the things that they liked about Divine. He is one of the things that it's great about Divine is that he's considered somewhat of a ball hawk. He's able to track the ball in the air very efficiently. He's very disciplined and shows dominance. So one of the things, again, reiterating the fact that this guy's built somewhat like a linebacker, he's going to show some force during the blitz. And so I expect Divine, again, reiterating again, he's going to be the sleeper of the draft for me. I think we can expect good things moving forward with Divine. and that's something to look forward to. Now, our following two picks in the fourth round, pick number 143 overall was Tyreke Gillespie, and we also have in the fifth round, pick 167, Nate Hobbs. So I expect Tyreke Gillespie, safety out of Missouri, to be utilized in special teams. He does efficiently have great man-to-man coverage. He has good athleticism. And so, again, this is one of the players I think the Raiders picked for his ability to able to play a variety of schemes. And so that's one of the upsides with Tyree. Whether or not he'll be with the Raiders long term, it's a matter of time. But we wish Tyreke Gillespie all the best. Safety out of Missouri. So our sixth pick, which was in the fifth round, was Nate Hobbs. Now, Nate Hobbs is a cornerback, considered an athletic cornerback with great combination of size and speed. Has a lot of experience in the cover three and press man techniques. One of the things I saw that was interesting with, if you watch his film, is that he's a great tackler. And that's one of the biggest needs or biggest concerns the Raiders had last year, is that nobody was seen able to tackle anybody. So he does have some minor issues in route recognition. He needs to improve in that, which brings to mind the late pick of a cornerback. So what I could see is them signing Richard Sherman. He would make a great mentor, I believe, for Nate Hobbs, especially that Sherman has always been described as a great route recognizer. And I think he can aid Nate Hobbs in this, and I think he would make a great mentor for Nate Hobbs moving forward. And that's Nate Hobbs, cornerback out of Illinois. Last but not least, you have Jimmy Morrissey out of Pitt. He's a center who started all 46 games at Pitt as center. He's a big boy at 6'3", 303 pounds. At least I think that's big. One of his downsides, according to many NFL analysts, is that he's a little small and lacks strength. But one of the things that I think helps Jimmy at the very least is that he has, what coaches and a lot of analysts have stated, has a lot of intelligence and durability and has a high football IQ. He does have large hands, which actually bodes well for him playing center. And so one of the things the Raiders have done this offseason was look for certain characteristics of players and experience. And it looks like with Jimmy Morrissey, you have both. You have somebody that's well respected, has a high football IQ, and started all 46 games as center. So the experience is there. Now, he may be smart enough to take over the spot, or good enough to take over the spot from possibly Nick Martin or Andre James. At the very least, I think on paper, Andre James is a starter. It's possible that Jimmy Morrissey, depending on how well he does in training camp, could be the second string starter. And as well as us signing free agents, Nick Martin, who is in sunset of his career. And so it's a matter of time we see how well Jimmy Morrissey pans out. But that's Jimmy Morrissey, center out of Pittsburgh. So that will conclude my 2021 draft class overview with me, Joseph Armendariz. Don't forget to like and subscribe and keep it here on Zenny62. And don't forget to bookmark Oakland News Now.